right. Get this all loaded up. Copy. Alright, that is up and rolling. Good morning. We're a little late today, but you know, better late than never, right? Alright. Oh, might be time for some new lead. Let's see. Where's the orange? There it is. Get the orange lead out. Get some fresh lead in there. Curious to check something here. Yeah, okay, that makes more sense. All right, pencil ready. Fresh lead inside. And looking at some Stuart Immonen today. So continue to practice my expressions. Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Let's see with this. All right. Good morning, everybody coming in. Oh, look, we got ourselves a spammer over on Twitch. Some Mark that off. Let's see. Got how to do this properly. Let's delete it off of there. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Good morning, everybody. Oof, allergies still bother me. I want them to go away. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Got some Stuart Immonen studies today. So I think I'm going to be working mostly just here. I think I can zoom in on that above. Then zoomed in some more over there and zoomed in for you over here. Got my sleepy dog under my table here. Yeah, hopefully these tree allergies, I think that's what's going after me right now. Going to go away soon. I think it's been slowing me down. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Is anybody here a Stuart Immonen fan? Let's see. I don't know. I have a bunch of the trade paperbacks he did when he did the controversial all-new X-Men with Bendis. I thought he'd be good, like how he draws expressions and things. So I thought I would do some studies of his stuff in here. He's a good shape maker. But I haven't heard anything about his career. It's funny. He's kind of one of those artists. He's been around forever, but I didn't realize it when I was I wasn't noticing his work when I was initially collecting back when I was a teenager. But I just wasn't familiar with them until, I don't know. Well, it's been a while now, 8 or 9 years. But I was like, hey, who is this guy? Apparently, he's just been around forever. But there's probably a lot of that out there. Again, when I was, initially, my first two comics again were, X-Men 281, well, Uncanny X-Men 281, and then X-Men #1. That just happened to be when I walked into the comic shop for the first time. So I was, more fixated on those Image guys. Yeah. There's a bunch of stuff on, a bunch of his pencils out there on, the different sites. But he's just fantastic at drawing, character expressions and variety and backgrounds. It's like a whole big package. Did you see those covers that Liefeld's doing for his re-release or his new updated release of Youngblood? I forget the name of the Arrow guy, but his thighs on that one picture are just they're like a third too short. Yeah, it's Kitty Pryde yelling at the all new old X-Men. It's funny because you look at the way that John Byrne draws Kitty Pryde, and she has a very particular face in the way he draws her, but they've definitely changed her face a lot since then. Yeah, he's doing a sale on Whatnot or something, where you can pre-order stuff from him, and it's $30 for the pre-order or something like that. It's not. It'll be said to be released in comic shops at a regular price. This is a special edition or something. Probably should just buy it just because it's Rob. And say what you will about his anatomy skills. I think you get him signed for 60. But again, say what you will about his anatomy skills. He's always someone that everyone's always talking about. And he creates, memorable. He's created some of the most memorable, the newest, most memorable characters for the big two. So, But yeah, the one of the covers, yeah, it's like there's three of the Youngblood guys, and I forget the guy that shoots arrows in red suit, and he's in the foreground, and his thighs are just like they're just really small. um, Maybe I should put that image in my, because we're starting to talk about character design in my class right now, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I should stick that in there as an example of like anatomy problems. Um, but again, at the same time, it's like he's wildly successful for what he's done, and there's no denying that at all. But yeah, what's so great about Stewart here, though, is like it's different angles. He's the faces are all tilted different directions from panel to panel. He's changing up his shots. Like there's no like static quality to his work, and yet everything's like drawn really, really solid. Um, so, there's always that with Rob. Yeah, if you go look at his socials, like his Twitter, he was linking to that. I'm not sure. I should probably use word just because it's Rob, but um, and then yeah, I was kind of offline for a bit. I was in New York for a couple days. Seeing some sights, camping in my little camper. Found a neighborhood that's like, I guess, good for that. There were a ton of campers in this neighborhood, and so my little Xterra camper, fit in really easily, or I guess didn't fit in exactly. It was a good spot to be. Had to be during the time change too, and I still haven't quite, I think, recovered from the time change, like in terms of getting back to my original sleep schedule. But I did that, and went camping for most of the rest of the week. Do a little landscape painting. And been back teaching last week. I just haven't quite recovered from that time change. Yeah, but it was interesting. I saw a show at Gagosian, and Gagosian is like this big kind of postmodern contemporary um, art gallery, and what they had on display was a bunch of giant watercolor and gouache paintings on paper. Like one of them was like 10 feet long on a single sheet of paper. I don't know if you got that custom made or what, um, but it was like paintings of these cheetahs in Venice, which is weird because like you don't normally see full composition narrative work at Gagosian. Like it's just not what they do. Maybe once in a while, but not like that. So I thought that was interesting. So yeah, it was weird because I was waking up at like, move this out of the way so I have my blot sheet there. Hello over there on Kick. Um, but yeah, it was weird when I went camping in the woods. Like, there was there was not a single green leaf on the trees. It was still just completely silvery out there, um, which is kind of weird. I haven't really painted in that kind of environment in a long time, so it was a little bit of a struggle to kind of like figure out how to make that work. With that, usually people complain about the green, everything being too green, and I haven't had that issue in a long time. When you go out landscape painting, there's all kinds of different greens, but but that was a little bit of a struggle out there. Plus, it was just really bright outside. Up until the last day, and it was like super foggy that I was there. Actually, I got the paintings right over here. I should pull them up once I get this inked in here real quick. Yeah, but I actually started. I reset my alarm this morning, so I'm actually using the alarm because again, the nature of my job is I don't have to get up all that early, so I don't really need an alarm to get up in the morning to be on time for work. All right, because Monday, Wednesday, I start class at 10, and Tuesday, Thursday, I don't have class until 12:30. So today, but so I've been letting that kind of ride the trip. Plus, when I was on my trip in New York, I was sleeping in a little bit. It was funny to wake up in the morning and there's like all these parked right by a park, and there's all these people running and doing sports first thing in the morning there in New York. So that was fun, heading out there, doing that. Let's see, brush, fill in these suit shadow things down here. I was introducing my students to Sean Gordon Murphy's stuff yesterday, and then last week I brought in it's actually still at the office. I need to grab it, but it was raining the last couple of days. So so I left it at school. But Daniel Warren Johnson brought in my big, extreme art book. Extremity, sorry, not extreme. Extremity. So the series he did a while back. And they're always like, whoa, why are these so big? I'm like, well, that's how the size they actually draw them at. Yeah, in terms of the oil paintings, let's see, let me back this up a little bit just to have a little more room. I was actually planning on doing like multi-sessions with them, so I might go back to that spot. Thinking about maybe trying this weekend, because I don't have anything too specific. This is the only one I really liked, so if I angle it towards the camera, there you go. But you see how silvery it was. I was like, how do I make this work? It's getting so much silver light out there. Let's see, back this up above too. I guess while I'm at it, there we go. But that was kind of the challenge there, was to do that. I was kind of just hanging out around this campsite, so I painted that. Painted just a little water study here. Could use some sharpening up in here just to clarify some things. So I was initially planning on doing like multi-session, like at least two, the initial one here, and then clean it up afterward. But they weren't drawing like this one, especially. I was setting this one up specifically for glazing on top, so I left all these shadows with a lot of warmth and light in them, so I could come back with transparent paint on top and then touch it up. But I think it still kind of works as a composition there. Just and I could probably do that glazing thing here if I just got out the paints and did that, but I was like, well, so been debating that the last couple of days to head back out there to do that. Well, it's probably still silvery out there. Let's get some Jean Grey over here. So the next panel, just make a pouty face, which doesn't like being told what to do. By Kitty Pryde. But yeah, so that's what I did out there. That was fun. And yeah, so trying to get the but you can definitely see, like, someone like Stuart Immonen, he's definitely using that Loomis method for drawing his faces. Like you can see the structure kind of built into the face like that. They definitely feeling out the size of the face and dropping the proportions in. Let's see. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the morning studies. Good morning. Welcome aboard. Anybody else working on a morning study project? Good morning. Are we familiar with Stuart Immonen? I think, a little better in place. Good morning. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Good morning. morning. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, who's anyone familiar with Stuart Immonen? That's who I'm doing a study of right now. This is his from his X-Men run. Waiting for time. 9:30, huh? 45 minutes. All right, that's good. Good working. Okay. Let's crack out some white paint. So we are working on the brown paper. morning. Good morning. I forgot to put the hair in over here. Good morning. All right. I think it's been just under an hour. Sorry, I gotta fill in some of these blacks on the face before I forget. think that's a good spot to stop. Today is 25/03/25, and this is after Stuart M.O. Nen. So good little warm up there. Thanks to everybody that came in. Put my little materials away, etc. And we'll talk to you next time.